Cairn Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @CairnReview. That is @CuendReview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@cuenreview.com. That is INFORMATION@CuendReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, date Wednesday the 17th of January 2024, has been read to you by Alan, Corey, Hunter, Ian and Rebecca. Protest over Milan closure. Article by Fraser N. Wilson. A protest opposing the closure of a Lifeline daycare centre serving East Dunbartonshire's elderly BAME community was held earlier this week. The doors of Kirkintilloch's council-run Milan Centre are scheduled to be closed for good at the end of March as part of cost-cutting measures. The local authorities say demand for such support services has increased, yet funding has decreased, meaning change is necessary. But protesters against the plan say they were not properly consulted, despite East Dunbartonshire Council, EDC, saying there was a review and an engagement of the situation over the closure, adding that without the Milan Centre, many in the region would suffer. Shar Marwaha, whose mother uses the centre, told the Herald, the Milan Group's position is that the consultation, which was during the COVID pandemic, was non-existent in relation to this group. The first I became aware of the proposals was in June 2023. In any case, service users have fundamental needs and requirements which are not being addressed by the proposals. These are to remain together as a group, to receive acceptable food, and to have access to a key worker with the appropriate language and cultural and religious understanding. At the centre, the group benefits from being able to talk the same languages, eat the same food, provided by a local Asian restaurant, have common religious and cultural beliefs, and long-term relationships, with many having known each other and their families for around 70 years. Many of the existing service users have been together in such a centre for many years. Despite that, EDC say the centre will close on March 31st, with daycare provided at the Burston Day Centre in Kirkintilloch and Oakburn Day in Mulgai from April the 1st. EDC says this meets the requirements for each service user. A transitional support period will run until October. Caroline Sinclair from EDC told us, we appreciate changing how people receive their support can cause anxiety, and many people do not want to see any changes made at all. However, as demand for services increases and funding and resources become more scarce, it is necessary for us to make changes and to provide services in an equitable and efficient way for the future. We remain keen to work positively with the users of the Milan Centre and their families to help ensure they continue to receive the support they have been assessed as requiring in a way that suits them best from the range of future options available. A petition in opposition to the proposals has received over 1,500 signatures, and a protest opposing the proposals was held at the local council headquarters in Kirkintilloch on Monday as the Herald was going to print. Pam Gossel MSP is one of a number of public figures opposing the plan, with Age Scotland and Scottish Hindu Foundation also showing their support for service users' plight. Sham added, we have raised these points very vociferously with EDC, who have been quite intransigent. The group firmly believe that EDC should take account of their wishes. They have all paid their taxes and dues. They and their families have made and continue to make a substantial input into their communities. They are distraught at what is being proposed. They cannot understand why EDC is causing them such anxiety and distress at this very late stage in their lives. We contest that a proper consultation of this group and their families ever took place. East Dunbartonshire Council states that they have carried out an equalities impact assessment which found that their proposals would not discriminate against any individual. We would strongly contest that. 24 very old and vulnerable Asian people are being uprooted and displaced. This is not happening to any other group. They are being offered an alternative that is woefully inadequate and does not meet their social, cultural, dietary or religious needs in any shape or form. And that article was written by Fraser N. Wilson and read today by me, Ian. This week in history. January the 18th, 1933, the bodyline bowling row flared up in an Australian v England test match in Adelaide. On this day last year, thousands of nurses across England went on strike as a bitter pay dispute with the government continued. January 19th, 1853, Verdi's Il Trovatore was premiered in Rome. On this day last year, 2 in 5 GPs were facing verbal abuse every single day, a poll suggested. January the 20th, 1993, William Jefferson Clinton was sworn in as 42nd President of the United States. On this day last year, Netflix announced the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's explosive recent series was its second highest ranked documentary ever. January the 21st, 1991, Iraq threatened to use shot-down Allied airmen as human shields against bomb attacks. On this day last year, dozens of asylum-seeking children had been kidnapped by gangs from a Brighton hotel run by the Home Office in a pattern apparently being repeated across the south coast, an Observer investigation reported. January the 22nd, 1927, the Football League game between Arsenal and Sheffield United was the first to be broadcast. On this day last year, Beyoncé took to the stage for her first headline concert since 2018, performing at a private hotel launch event in Dubai. Introducing New Top Cop, article written by Chief Inspector Aidan Higgins, Local Area Commander. Hello, I am Chief Inspector Aidan Higgins. In November 2023, I was appointed the Police Scotland Local Area Commander for East Dunbartonshire. I have responsibility for policing services in the East Dunbartonshire area, which is part of the wider Greater Glasgow Policing Division. By way of some introduction, I have been a police officer for 23 years, starting my police service in 2001 at Shettleston, Glasgow. During the intervening period, I have worked in a variety of policing roles across Greater Glasgow and Lanarkshire. I am delighted to lead the professional and dedicated officers and staff from my base at Kirkintilloch Police Station. During my initial few weeks, I have been impressed by their application and commitment and the strong partnerships between policing and other local services. I fully intend to maintain and enhance these relationships so that policing can continue to play an important role in ensuring that East Dunbartonshire remains a safe place to live, work and visit. I fully recognise the important role policing has in our communities, keeping people safe from harm, protecting the vulnerable, bringing criminals to justice and supporting community safety and well-being remains our absolute priority. There are undoubted financial challenges within Police Scotland and across the public sector which will require collaboration, communication and strong relationships to best serve our communities. I am fully committed to ensuring policing services in the area remain visible, accessible and sustainable. Should you require the services of Police Scotland, you can contact us on telephone 101 999 in emergency or via www.scotland.police.uk/contact-us. That's via www.scotland.police.uk/contact-us. Your local community policing team can also be contacted direct via email. For Milngavie and Bearsden North, email Greater Glasgow LPST Milngavie at scotland.police.uk. That's Greater Glasgow LPST Milgai @scotland.police.uk. For Bearsden South, Bishopbriggs North and Campsie, Bishopbriggs South, Lenzie and Kirkintilloch South, Kirkintilloch Eastern North, and Twaker, email Greater Glasgow LPST Bishopbriggs @scotland.police.uk. That's Greater Glasgow LPST Bishopbriggs @scotland.police.uk. I look forward to leading the delivery of policing services in East Dunbartonshire in the months and years ahead, and wish you the very best for 2024. And that article was by Chief Inspector Aidan Higgins.
Cops ask for help, as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Police are appealing for information after heating supplies worth a six-figure sum were stolen from a nearby business. On returning to work following the festive break last Wednesday, January the 3rd, staff at the business in McCluch Avenue, Hillington Park, found the building had been broken into and stock, mainly boilers of various makes, stolen. DC Jack McKelvey said, "We know so far that 5 or 6 men dressed in high visibility clothing broke into the building around 7:40 a.m. on December the 27th and left with the stolen goods in 2 trucks and a van. They later returned for a second load the same day. The van was a white VW Crafter and the trucks were curtain siders, white cabs with blue curtains. This theft was obviously pre-planned. Anyone with any info should call police on 101.
Cops issue bank scam warning. Cops in East Dunbartonshire have warned the public to be on their guard following a recent spat of bank fraud crimes. In the last 4 weeks, 2 women aged 78 and 80 have been the victims of banking scams where 4- and 5-figure sums of money have been taken. In 7 other cases, victims aged between 68 and 86 did not withdraw or transfer money. In these cases, the scammers typically contact their victims by phone at home and claim to be police officers based in Glasgow, claiming they have concerns regarding fraudulent use of the victim's bank card, then asking them to assist with their investigation. They convince the caller they are genuine, then ask the victim to transfer funds or ask them to visit their local branch to withdraw money that can be collected by the fraudsters. Chief Inspector Aidan Higgins told the Herald, extensive inquiries are being carried out by a team of specialist officers to identify those responsible. I would like to highlight this scam and to ask people please be vigilant. I urge everyone with an elderly relative or neighbour to make them aware of this type of fraud as soon as possible. Officers or your bank will never ask you to transfer money to another account or withdraw money from your account. They will never ask you to disclose personal financial information. These callous criminals prey on the most vulnerable people in our communities and convince victims they are helping police. If you receive a call of this nature or are aware of someone who has, call police on 101. Read by Rebecca.
Advice is hot water bottle burn numbers double. 11 child patients have been treated by the Burns Clinic at the Royal Hospital for Children, Glasgow, this winter. That's more than double the number treated in winter last year. As the cold season continues, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is advising parents to take extra care with how hot water bottles are filled and used, especially when it comes to children. Sharon Ramsey, paediatric burns nurse specialist at the Royal Hospital for Children, Glasgow, explained why they are speaking out. We believe the number of patients coming to us with burns from hot water bottles may be higher due to the current cost of living crisis and more people using them as an affordable way to stay warm at home. She said, "When filling these, especially as part of the bedtime routine, it can be easy to rush and that's when mistakes happen. We're asking families that are using hot water bottles for their children and themselves to take the time to consider the following steps to avoid any nasty incidents and unwanted trips to hospital. Tips for using hot water bottles include always using a hot water bottle cover, never filling it with freshly boiled water from the kettle, only fill the bottle about 2/3 and then gently squeeze out the air, never ask a child to fill the bottle while you hold it, ensure the top is on correctly, don't allow the child to sit on a hot water bottle, only use for 2 years after the bottle's manufacture date, date found in inside of the bottle funnel. Read by Alan Todd. Child abuse levels close to record. New figures compiled by the NSPCC have revealed thousands of child sexual offences in Scotland, and the figures show that the level of abuse remains close to record levels. The Freedom of Information data totalled 86,962 child sexual offences recorded by police across the UK in 2022-23, one of the highest on record since the charity started the annual research 16 years ago. In Scotland, 5,557 child sexual offences were recorded by Police Scotland in that time period, itself close to the previous record level of 5,640. Types of offences included rape, sexual assault, sexual grooming and indecent communication. This comes as the NSPCC launches a new campaign in partnership with the Home Office to tackle child sexual abuse. Cam Thandy from the charity said, "The high numbers of child sexual offences being reported by the police in Scotland and across the UK are a warning to us all that more must be done to tackle this abuse." This new helpline campaign, in partnership with the Home Office, will encourage the general public and professionals to reach out with concerns about child sexual abuse. All of us must play our part in protecting children. The helpline deals with concerns about children, no matter how big or small, and we are encouraging adults to contact us. What is shared could be life-changing for a child experiencing sexual abuse. The campaign encourages the public to contact the charity's UK adult helpline if they are concerned a child could be at risk. The partnership also encourages people to report on instances where there are concerns a child might be experiencing sexual abuse. The Home Office is providing funding for the NSPCC helpline to increase capacity and to raise awareness of the service to the public and professionals. The NSPCC has also created 2 films promoting the new campaign. These films show how adults can use the helpline to share any concerns they may have about a child's safety or welfare. One of these films is tailored to professionals and the other reaches out to the general public. NSPCC helpline at help@nspcc.org.uk or call 0808 800 5000. Children can contact Childline on 0800 1111 or childline.org.uk. Partnership working. Workshops are to take place in secondary schools in East Dunbartonshire in a bid to help tackle and prevent gender-based violence. Strathkelvin and Bearsden MSP Rona Mackay met last week with local area commander Chief Inspector Aidan Higgins and his team at Police HQ in Kirkintilloch to learn more about the innovative project. Police Scotland Greater Glasgow Domestic Violence Safeguarding Unit, dedicated local campus police officers and Scottish Domestic Abuse Support Service ASS1ST are jointly rolling out the workshops to pupils in S4 and S5 early this year. The new project follows the success of pilot seasons in school in November and December last year as part of global campaign 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. SNP MSP Ms Mackay, who is co-convener of the cross-party group on men's violence against women at the Scottish Parliament and a member of the Criminal Justice Committee, told the Herald, "It was fantastic to meet up with Chief Inspector Higgins and his dedicated team to hear more about the brilliant work being done in my constituency to tackle and prevent gender-based violence. Keeping our young people safe and healthy means ensuring they have the right spaces for learning about and discussing these issues. I also had the pleasure of meeting advocacy workers at Support Service Assist, who must be commended for their role in helping to progress the workshops. I applaud them too for their brilliant work in helping support victims of domestic abuse. Find out more about Assist at the Assist website. Anyone with information on any crime should contact Police Scotland on 101. Information can also be left anonymously via Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111 or by filling in an anonymous form online at the Crime Stoppers website.
Station closures dangerous. Proposed police station closures in East Dunbartonshire are dangerous and will leave local residents less safe. That's the view of Scottish Labour Community Safety spokeswoman Katie Clark. We told you late last year how Police Scotland identified 29 stations for closure, with Milngavie and Bishopbriggs amongst those earmarked. This would leave the county with just one police station, Kirkintilloch. Miss Clark described the move as asset stripping and called on the Scottish Government to step in with urgent funding. The East Dunbartonshire representative said, "These dangerous cuts are a result of long-term underinvestment on the part of the Scottish Government. Asset stripping may help balance the books, but it will not improve services and it will not help people feel safe. Police visibility in our communities is vital in tackling crime as well as preventing crime. These cuts will undermine confidence in services which are already stretched to the limit here."
MSP's thanks after FOI Reform Bill joy. Katie Clark has thanked tireless work of constituents and campaigners after earning the right to introduce a bill to reform freedom of information legislation in the new year. The Scottish Labour MSP has passed the threshold of 18 MSPs from 3 different parties to introduce a Members' Bill in the Scottish Parliament. Her bill aims to modernise FOI and extend designation to private and third sector bodies delivering public services. It follows a consultation exercise carried out by the Scottish Labour MSP. Of those who answered, an overwhelming 74.5% of respondents indicated support for the proposed bill. In total, 96 respondents, including public bodies, business groups, councils, charities, trade unions and academics, provided submissions of an even greater number than the Scottish Government's own consultation on this issue. The Scottish Government has thus far ruled out the immediate introduction of legislation that would overhaul FOI, instead committing to secondary reforms and future consultations, despite concerns about the lack of progress being raised by the Scottish Information Commissioner. Commenting, Katie Clark, who represents East Dunbartonshire as part of the West of Scotland, "I am pleased to have earned the right to introduce an FOI reform bill. It is a culmination of months and in some cases years of tireless work and public campaigning. My thanks go to the many constituents who have called on their MSPs to back this bill." The Scottish Labour MSP added, "The focus will now be on introducing a bill to make FOI fit for the modern day, and I will be taking soundings from colleagues across all political parties as we attempt to get this right. My bill will finally close loopholes, extend designations, introduce a statutory duty for bodies to proactively publish information. When it comes to the public's right to know, the principle is that public information should follow the public pound. I look forward to making that case as we seek to ensure Parliament progresses reforms that achieve that."
Having your say. Time is running out to have your say on East Dunbartonshire's next local development plan. A survey is live online until the end of January, and drop-in events have been taking place in local communities since November. An online public information session is being held from 5 to 6 p.m. this Thursday, January the 18th. To register to take part, email development.plan@east-dunbarton.gov.uk. A drop-in session at Kirkintilloch Town Hall will be held next Tuesday, January the 23rd, from 1:30pm to 3:30pm, and is an opportunity to engage on detailed evidence, potentially involving members of the public, key agencies, community organisations, business groups, landowners and the development industry. Visit eastdunbarton.gov.uk/LDP3 for information and to fill in the online survey before January the 31st. MSP calls for centre safety. Pam Gosel has urged East Dunbartonshire Council not to go ahead with plans to shut the Milan Centre. The local MSP joined a protest outside council headquarters on Monday aimed at stopping the closure of the centre, which provides daycare services for dozens of elderly people. The MSP has started a campaign to encourage the council to keep the centre open, or for the SNP government to intervene to provide extra funding and prevent its closure. The Scottish Conservative said, "From visiting the centre previously and speaking to residents and families, I know just how important it is to people's lives. It is a much loved and incredibly valuable resource that improves the lives of vulnerable and elderly people with unique support not available anywhere else locally for the ethnic minority communities. Closing this centre would be a devastating blow for many elderly BAME people and their families."
Funding cancer research. Race to claim 50% off. Report by Julie Curry. Readers are being invited to kickstart the new year by signing up for one of Cancer Research UK's Race for Life events. The charity's much-loved fundraisers, which raise money for life-saving research, are returning to a number of locations this year. Anyone who joins this January can claim 50% off the entry fee as part of a special early bird sale by using the code RACE24NY. Every year, around 34,600 people are diagnosed with cancer in Scotland. Money raised for Race for Life enables scientists to find new ways to prevent, diagnose and treat cancer, moving closer to a world where everyone can live longer, better lives, free from the fear of the disease. Race for Life events, which take place across Scotland this spring and summer, are open to all ages and abilities. Held in partnership with headline sponsor Standard Life, they raise millions of pounds every year to help beat cancer by funding crucial research. Lisa Adams, Cancer Research UK spokeswoman in Scotland, said, "No matter how cancer affects us, life is worth racing for. Sadly, nearly 1 in 2 of us will get cancer in our lifetime. Race for Life has the power not only to transform lives, but to save them. We are proud it has already helped double survival rates in the UK. We'd love for as many people as possible to join us. There is a race for everyone, and we mean everyone. Walk, jog, run, or take on the course, however it suits best. It's a chance to feel the power of moving together with fellow Race for Lifers and have fun with it. January is the perfect time to commit to getting a little more active. Whether people are living with cancer, taking part in honour of or in memory of a loved one with cancer, in it for the medals, or just for the fun of fundraising, there is a place for everyone. Since it began in 1994, more than 10 million people have taken part in Race for Life, funding 30 years of hope and progress. Money raised has helped develop radiotherapy, which benefits more than 130,000 people with cancer in the UK every year. Cancer Research UK funded scientists led the development of the human papillomavirus vaccine, which is expected to prevent almost 90% of cervical cancers in the UK. The charity also funded many large clinical trials looking at the effectiveness of the drug tamoxifen, and the research shaped the way the drug is used to treat breast cancer today. Andy Curran, Chief Executive of Standard Life, said, "We are incredibly proud to continue as headline sponsor for Race for Life, with the opportunity to encourage participation across the country. By working to raise funds for life-saving research, we can move towards a future where people live longer and healthier lives, free from the fear of cancer." How to sign up? The first Race for Life events will be held on Sunday, May the 5th in Stirling and South Queensferry. On May the 12th, the action moves to Kirkcaldy and Inverness, with Glasgow on May the 19th. June will see the race being staged in Edinburgh on June the 2nd, with the Pretty Muddy in Glasgow on June the 15th, followed by a Race for Life in Dundee on June 16th. On June 23rd, there will be a Race for Life in Falkirk, as well as a Pretty Muddy in Edinburgh, and on June 30th, there will be events in Irvine and Aberdeen. Most events have 3k, 5k or 10k distances, giving people the chance to opt into the best event for their fitness level. To find out more or sign up, visit www.raceforlife.org.
Know your rights when it comes to prepayment. Scots worried about being forced into prepayment meters have been urged to contact the country's National Energy Advice Service. It comes as three major firms were giving the go-ahead to restart the practice. Energy regulator Ofgem announced on Friday that Scottish Power, EDF and Octopus will be able to begin forcibly installing the devices in homes after obtaining court warrants. For customers who already have a smart meter, the firms will also be able to remotely switch them to prepayment mode without the need for a warrant. However, new rules have been put in place to protect vulnerable consumers after investigations into the practice led to its suspension. Advice Direct Scotland, which operates the energyadvice.scot service on behalf of the Scottish Government, is encouraging households to be aware of their rights. The charity has reminded Scots that under Ofgem's new code, suppliers are now banned from forcing PPMs on the most vulnerable people. This includes the over 75s, families with children under 2, those needing a continuous energy supply for health reasons, or those unable to top up a meter due to incapacity. Energy firms must also contact customers at least 10 times about their debt before applying for a warrant. The debt should exceed £200 and have been outstanding for 3 months. They are also required to offer an affordable repayment plan, conduct a site welfare visit and ensure it is safe to install a PPM. Firms that break these rules could face enforcement action. Advice Direct Scotland said anyone who feels unfairly treated should make a complaint to their supplier. The energyadvice.scot team can help customers via the free phone helpline on 0808 196 8660, Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hazel Knowles, Advice Direct Scotland Energy Lead, said Ofgem's stricter rules will go a long way to ensuring that the most vulnerable energy customers are not being forced onto the devices. We know many people will be worried about being given a PPM. The devices leave people paying more and at risk of self-disconnection when they can't afford to top up their meter. It is vital consumers know their rights.
Gia Gritter a name. Amy South West Trunk Roads is once again running a Gritter naming appeal that has, to date, led to over 6,000 Gritter names being submitted by Scots. The newly named Gritters will join classics such as Sir Grits Hoy, Yes Sir, Icekin Boogie and Skid Vicious. Last year's winners and new additions to the fleet for the 2023-24 winter season included Kevin Fridges and Keanu Freeze. Scotland's tradition of coming up with inventive and fun names for their Gritter fleet has gone viral on social media and makes headlines around the world. Gritter names can be submitted to Amy online now via a page on swtrunkroads.scot.name. Name reveals will take place on the @SWTrunkRoads Facebook and Twitter channels and will appear live on the Traffic Scotland Gritter Tracker online. Get your eyes examined to stay safe on our roads. The Scottish Government and Road Safety Scotland have launched a new campaign encouraging older drivers to have a free, regular NHS eye examination so they can continue driving safely. With recent statistics showing 29% of car driver casualties killed or seriously injured in road collisions were over 60, the Fitness to Drive campaign highlights that eyesight can affect the way we drive as we get older. It's common for drivers to adapt their driving behaviour as they get older, for example, by not driving at night or in busier roads to avoid the glare from oncoming traffic. These adaptations often happen gradually and can be a sign of deteriorating vision. Janet Pooley, Chief Optometric Advisor, said, "As we get older, we can experience changes to our eyesight, including blurred vision, a reduced visual field, and less accuracy when it comes to judging distances, which impact our ability to drive safely. The best way to make sure your eyes are healthy is to have them examined regularly and to visit your local optometrist if you notice any problems with your eyesight. As well as detecting changes in your eyesight, an NHS eye examination can pick up age-related eye conditions like cataracts and glaucoma, and it can identify and help prevent other health conditions like blood issues and diabetes, which can also affect driving. The campaign reminds drivers that changes in your eyesight don't have to mean giving up driving." Janet continued, "In some cases, your optometrist might advise that you require surgery to improve your vision if you have a condition like cataracts. Outstanding surgical results often enable people to continue to drive safely for many years." In addition to eyesight, other age-related factors can also affect our fitness to drive, such as high blood pressure, medication, and slower reaction times. Drivers are encouraged to plan ahead for when they do choose to give up driving and consider alternatives for getting around without a car, including public transport. Minister for Transport's Fiona Hislop said, "Changes in our eyesight is something we're all affected by as we get older, and with Scotland's population continuing to age, it's important to ensure we all stay safe on the road. We're encouraging everyone in this age group to get their eyes checked regularly to make sure they are fit to drive. Age Scotland's Big Survey 2023 shows driving is the most common way to get around among over 60s, with 72% of respondents saying they use it most often." Catherine Crawford, CEO of Age Scotland, said, "We know driving is hugely important to older people and plays a big part in their ability to stay active, mobile and independent. This campaign is a good reminder for older drivers to get their eyes examined regularly or, if they notice a change in their eyesight, to make sure they have the best vision for driving safely. The campaign will also address family and friends who may be initiating discussions about driving with their loved ones, which can be a sensitive subject. For more information on the campaign or to book a free NHS eye examination, visit the Road Safety Scotland website."
Family announcements. Deaths. Heron, Joan. Unexpectedly at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on Monday, December 25th, 2023. Joan, aged 81 years, mum to Anne, Elizabeth, Jim, Joan and the late Raymond. Loving gran to all her wains and gran to her 5 wee Robins. A friend to many. Funeral service will take place in Hillhead Parish Church on Saturday, January 20th at 10:30 a.m. All welcome. In Memoriam. Patterson. Carmen Nee Young. In loving memory of Carmen, a dear wife to Jim, wonderful mother, daughter, sister, sister-in-law, and aunt, who passed away on January 14th, 2014. Sadly missed along life's way, quietly remembering every day. We will always love you. Mum and Dad.
Upstream battle to keep marine life free of litter. Environmental charity Keep Scotland Beautiful has announced a week of action will be taking place this month to help combat marine litter. As part of the charity's Upstream Battle campaign, which aims to tackle litter on land before it enters our waterways, The week of action takes place from Saturday, January the 20th to Sunday, January the 28th. Readers are being encouraged to lend a hand by addressing litter issues in their local rivers and streams. Events are already confirmed across the length of the country, including Inverness, Dumfries, Stirling and Glasgow, as Keep Scotland Beautiful aims to tackle the issue at a national level. Participants will also be encouraged to undertake a marine litter survey to contribute to a national data set and work on addressing the problem at its cause. The Week of Action follows the publication of 2 reports by Keep Scotland Beautiful in December last year, exploring the public's perception of litter and its environmental impact, which found that 90% of people believe that litter is an issue across the country. Barry Fisher, Chief Executive at Keep Scotland Beautiful, said, "There is a litter emergency in Scotland, and this is causing damage to our rivers and seas. With 80% of marine litter coming from land, we need to take action now to address this issue and protect our waters. Our Upstream Battle campaign focuses on tackling litter and littering behaviour to prevent marine litter at source. By taking part in our Week of Action and conducting a marine litter survey, you can play a crucial part in tackling marine litter." Litter survey and pick events are happening across Scotland throughout the week, including Edinburgh, Glasgow, North Ayrshire, Inverness and more, with further events to be confirmed. To find out more about getting involved in the Week of Action and events organised in your area, visit the Keep Scotland Beautiful website. Keep Scotland Beautiful is an environmental charity which inspires action to combat climate change, tackle litter and waste, restore nature and biodiversity, and improve places.
As published on Wednesday the 17th of January, Let's Talk, Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. There is no hole, black or otherwise, in the Scottish budget. Sir, much has been said in recent days about the Scottish economy and how the Scottish Government has failed to deliver prosperity. This would be justified if the economic powers were devolved, but they are not. Every major detriment to the UK economy has originated from Westminster. Unnecessary austerity, Brexit, the Trust quartile blunders, soaring interest rates, all leaving the Scottish economy poorer by billions. We've also heard much, strangely gleeful, about the black hole in the Scottish budget. The devolution settlement requires the Scottish Government to produce a balanced budget with a predicted spend matched by predicted income. With difficulty this was achieved, so there is no hole, black or otherwise. Also, politicians do not design or build ferries. They did not fit the wrong cables, wrong size of doors, too few staircases and so on. The ferries are being built in a shipyard, not at Holyrood. Yours, etc., Robert Farquharson, by email. American XL bullies do not have the vote, even in Scotland. Sir, apparently, the sudden change of mind by the Scottish Government about banning American XL bully dogs has been prompted by someone clearing up the First Minister's misunderstanding of the situation. Firstly, in the tick-the-box approach adopted by the Scottish Government, not banning dogs was in clear defiance of the Westminster/England safety first policy. Secondly, the First Minister thought Scotland's reputation for welcoming immigrants, albeit dogs, would be enhanced by the recent influx from the south of the border, and in time with residency, they might vote for the welcoming SNP. Only when someone explained to him that dogs, even if they reach the age of 16, do not have the vote, did he agree to considering a ban. Rough justice indeed. Yours, etc., Fraser McGregor, address supplied. Post office scandal has shaken UK to core. Sir, the post office scandal has shaken our nation to the core. The losses incurred by sub-postmasters range from a few pounds here and there to tens of thousands. Nearly all sub-postmasters made good on all sorts of discrepancies with their own money. The only way to get everyone affected is for every Horizon transaction correction that's ever come through and been settled to cash or cheque between 1999 and 2015 to be paid back to the relevant sub-postmaster. It seems impossible for the post office to prove what is a glitch and what is not, while they use the faulty Horizon system. Also, sub-postmasters were not paid for holidays, for all of the hours they worked, or given any pensions. This all has to be included in any compensation. The post office taking sub-postmasters' money, not paying them properly, not giving them pensions is evil enough, but its action through the courts destroyed lives. What little that has been offered in recompense is not nearly enough. Yours, etc., Alistair Redman, former sub-postmaster, by email. In the land of milk and honey, sir, is it possible that Humza Yousaf thinks the only thing in the mind of every Scot is independence or unionism? If he and his colleagues do not believe this, why is the only subject they can talk about with any enthusiasm? In the end, the main issue that occupies the mind of everyone is money, because with it all difficulties are resolved. Without it we can only dream of getting some. Perhaps this is why Mr. Yousaf and friends refuse to educate our children, fix the NHS, build ferries to help our island communities, and help businesses during these troubled times. Money is not the root of all evil, it is the fixer of all problems. It therefore follows that if this SNP/Green government actually attended to the important job of helping the people of Scotland to be wealthier, would be healthier and happier, so their cry for independence would be neutered and they know it. Consequently, it is in Yousaf's and his SNP/Green government's interest to keep us poor and unhappy. How else can they continually paint that promised land of milk and honey? Yours, etc., Stan Hogarth. Address supplied. A wild day out at the museum. Report by Julie Curry. The world-renowned Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition will open this week at the National Museum of Scotland. On loan from the Natural History Museum in London, it will open on Saturday, January the 20th, featuring exceptional images which capture fascinating animal behaviour, spectacular species, and the breathtaking diversity of the natural world. Using photography's unique emotive power to engage and inspire audiences, the images shine a light on stories and species around the world and encourage a future of advocating for the planet. Wildlife Photographer of the Year is the most prestigious photography event of its kind, providing a global platform that showcases some of the best photography talent from around the world for nearly 60 years. Launching in 1965, today the competition receives entries from 95 countries all over the world, highlighting its enduring appeal. This year's award-winning images will embark on an international tour that will allow them to be seen by well over 1 million people. This year's competition attracted an astounding 49,957 entries from photographers of all ages and experience levels from 95 countries. During an intense week at the National History Museum in London, entries were judged anonymously on their creativity, originality, and technical excellence by an international panel of industry experts. Dr. Nick Fraser, Keeper of Natural Sciences at National Museum Scotland, said, "These images taken together tell a powerful story, balancing the wonder and beauty of the natural world with its fragility and vulnerability to climate change and biodiversity loss. It is perhaps less well understood how the work of in-house natural sciences teams and external researchers on collections such as ours at National Museum Scotland and those at NHM contributes hugely to global understanding of human impact on the environment, and so we look forward to welcoming visitors to the exhibition and the museum early next year." Open 10 AM to 5 PM daily until May the 6th. Tickets are available at www.nms.ac.uk/WPY.
Crown Office now investigating scams. Trading Standards Scotland has welcomed reports that the Crown Office and the Procurator Fiscal are examining potential criminality in the selling of home insulation products. Shocking examples highlighted include a couple from Midlothian who lost almost £11,000 after agreeing to have the loft insulated with spray foam, and a man from North Lanarkshire who lost £19,000. Fiona Richardson, TSS Chief Officer, said, "We welcome the Crown Office's interest in the case that we have submitted. We believe that consumers are suffering significant harm due to these trading practices. These firms are exploiting the cost of living crisis and are targeting those who want to make their homes more energy efficient. Our advice is never to engage with cold callers and never accept information offered from such people."
Wednesday the 17th of January 2024. District News. Churches. Send your emails to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent, on Sunday. There will be a good news service at 4 p.m. The speaker this week will be Michael Johnson. A warm welcome to all. Every Wednesday our coffee corner is open from 12 noon to 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over coffee. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with him, and he with me." Revelation chapter 3 verse 20. Home Church Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch, Home Church East End, Carmyle G32 8DP, and online, a church for all ages. Let the whole earth sing to the Lord, each day proclaim the good news that he saves. Psalm 16 verse 23. January 21st, 10 a.m, prayer meeting followed by refreshments. 11 a.m, worship service followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you. Home Church Carmyle, 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Home groups will recommence in February. Home radio is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information for Carmyle and Kirkintilloch. Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship on Sunday, January the 21st will be conducted by Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by our Assistant Minister, Mrs. Julie Harty, in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come along and enjoy the fellowship. No collection is taken during the service, so donations can be made by placing them in the offering plates in the Hall of Fellowship as you enter or leave the building. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, January the 17th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, January 17th from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m, followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. On Thursday, January the 18th, there will be an event in Bishopbriggs Community Church at 7 p.m. entitled "The Cost of Living Matters to God." St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector, Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. On Saturday, January the 20th, Dads and Kids is held from 10:45 a.m. to noon, and it is a great chance for dads with young children to get together around some banter, bacon rolls and coffee while the kids play. On Sunday, January the 21st, there will be a Sunday club at 10:30 a.m. There is a communion service at 11 a.m. on Thursday in the chapel, and on Sunday, January the 21st, in the chapel at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m. in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of the services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are also virtual services and groups for up-to-date and further information. Refer to our social media: Facebook, St James the Less, Bishopbriggs. Website www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Colston Well Park Church. Let's make a new start on Sunday at Colston Well Park Church. Our service starts at 11 a.m. and led by Reverend Malcolm Cuthbertson, followed by tea, coffee and conversations in the church hall after the service. This Monday, the art club is resumed after the festive break and starts at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and all budding artisans are welcome to join us. If interested, give Ramsey a call on 07709 584 680 for more information. This Wednesday, the Colston Tea Break, our community drop-in, continues from 11 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. and feel free to join us for good food, good chat and of course good company. Especially at this time, let's not forget the essential work done by the food bank. It is open every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and for those who continually assist in the work and for all donated foodstuff, we give our sincere thanks. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins at the church at 11 a.m. A creche is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the session room. Time out on Monday, January the 22nd at 7:45 p.m. in the church hall is a Scottish themed evening. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, January the 18th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy tea and coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rummikub or Uno. If preferred, you can sit back and chat and or do your knitting. There are books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. If your New Year's resolution was to get fitter, why not try Scottish country dancing? Come along for fun, fitness and friendship every Thursday in the church hall, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. You will be made very welcome. Kenmure Parish Church. Our Girls Brigade Company have resumed, meeting each Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. for the younger groups and 7:30 p.m. for the older members. Sunday morning worship starts, as usual, at 11 a.m. with George and Sheena Reid leading our worship. You are welcome to join us both in the church and on our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs. Kenmure is Kenmure on YouTube. Teas and coffees and a time of fellowship follows the end of the church service. The most up-to-date details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Milton of Campsie Parish Church. The week of prayer for Christian unity begins on January the 18th. You are warmly invited to take part in the services that have been planned by the local churches. The service has been prepared by churches in Burkina Faso on the theme Go and Do Likewise. Monday, January the 22nd at noon, Campsie Parish Church, followed by soup lunch at St Machan's Hall. Wednesday, January the 24th at noon, St Machan's. Friday, January the 26th at noon, Milton of Campsie Parish Church. We meet for worship on Sunday, January the 21st. Please send in a picture of yourself with the number 10. All the children's and youth groups meet as normal. Baby and toddler group, hobbies club and badminton meet on Monday. Cafe Connect is on Tuesday morning. On Wednesday, January the 17th at 7 p.m, we meet for a time to pray in the Eric Liddell. Come when you can, leave when you must. On Friday, January 19th, the BB Anchor and Junior sections meet at 6:15 p.m. Take part in the Great Garden Birdwatch, January the 26th to 28th. 1. Watch the birds around you for 1 hour. 2. Count how many of each species of bird lands on your patch. 3. Go online and tell us what you saw. Help our eco group get the green message over to all MSPs. If you're handy with a needle and thread and would like to help us make green heart badges, please speak to Claire Mould. All materials will be provided. St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, January the 21st will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. There will be age-related activities for our young children in the halls. The craft group will meet in the session house on Monday, January the 24th at 1 p.m. We will be discussing our future projects for the new year. Wednesday welcome will take place on Wednesday, January the 17th. Tea, coffee and home baking will be available 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. A short service will begin at 11:30 a.m. Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11 a.m. led by Reverend Dan Carmichael. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The meeting place opens for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. Youth Cafe, Thursdays 3:45 p.m. to 5 p.m, a place where young people can hang out, relax, and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack, with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. The coffee pot is open on Fridays 10 a.m. until 12 noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Art for seniors is on Monday, January the 22nd, 1:30 p.m. in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. Contact Margaret on 07792 168 826 to book your place. Torrens Parish Church. The morning service, in person, is at 10:30 a.m. conducted by Reverend Stuart Irvin. During the service, the youngsters would meet together in creche, junior church and FOROG. To join the service online, go to www.torrensparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for teas, coffee and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? The Girls' Brigade meet on Wednesdays 6:15 p.m. to 8:15 p.m, P1 to S6, and the Boys' Brigade resume on Thursday, January the 18th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m, P7 to S6. To find out about regular weekly activities, check the website for what's on at www.tpc.org.uk. As published on Wednesday the 17th of January 2024, District News, General. What's on? Come along to Celtic Connections. Ukrainian quartet Daka Braka. Preparations are well underway for world-renowned Glasgow festival Celtic Connections, which is set to warm up dark winter nights with its vibrant programme of sensational live sounds from Thursday, January the 18th to Sunday, February the 4th. Much-loved venues across the city, such as the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall and Barrowland Ballroom, as well as the Pavilion Theatre and Barony Hall, get set to welcome audiences with open arms for what will be one of the biggest capacity Celtic Connections to date. Glasgow's status as a UNESCO City of Music will be on full display as, over the course of the 18-day event, 1,200 musicians perform at over 300 events. Audiences can expect workshops, recitals, screenings, dementia-friendly performances, full-scale concerts and intimate gigs, spanning genres of traditional folk, roots, Americana, jazz, soul, rock, orchestral, experimental and world music. The many must-see shows from artists from as far as North America, Australia and West Africa include Wild Child, a dynamic act comprising of Kelsey Wilson and Alexander Beggins, who bring the true grit of Americana music to Glasgow's CCA on Friday, January the 19th. Also at the CCA is rising Scottish star Rosie H. Sullivan, Friday, January the 26th. Growing up in the Isle of Lewis with stunning landscapes from which to draw inspiration, the promising young musician has been writing songs since her early teens. Award-winning Kiev musical quartet Daka Braka, which translates to give, to take in Old Ukrainian, will bring their astonishing transnational sound rooted in Ukrainian culture to Glasgow when they play the Pavilion Theatre on Saturday, January the 20th. The group were due to make their debut in 2020, but the global pandemic and war in Ukraine have prevented them. A commemorative celebration will see the Traditional Music and Song Association revisit the landmark Scots Women concert from the 2001 festival. On Saturday, February the 3rd, at City Halls, Scots Women, Generations of Change, will honour the original singers of the first performance, while welcoming a new wave of Scottish female folk singers, showcasing a blend of a cappella and band-accompanied songs. Full programme and tickets at www.celticconnections.com. Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries. The Antiquaries held their first meeting of 2024 last Thursday, when the Mackay Hall in the Park Centre was turned into a folk club, as Don Martin, former secretary of the Society and distinguished local historian and librarian, took us through local history and folk song. Don has always been interested in folk song and, early in his career, at the Mitchell Library, joined with other musicians to form the group Clutha, which became well known in the 1960s, though he left before they started making records. Don sang several songs with a local connection, accompanying himself on guitar. He pointed out that, although folk music is now regarded as a minority interest, in the past everyone would have known and sung folk songs. They were part of the fabric of life and told stories of local interest and were sung by all classes of society. The first person to seriously analyse and categorise folk songs was Professor Francis James Child, who, in the 1880s and 90s, produced a collection of 305 songs from England and Scotland, with many versions of each. These have become known as the Child Ballads. Don sang one, the Ballad of Richie's Story, thought to be from about 1673, which was set in Cumbernauld. Very few folk songs are set in Kirkintilloch, but many are set in the surrounding area, such as Jamie Foyer's Campsie, a ballad from the Napoleonic times, and the Braes of Strathblane, which is one historian records, everyone in the Blaine Valley knew and sang this song. Many folk songs are in pentatonic or modal scales rather than simple major or minor keys, and this gives them a distinctive sound. Examples include Sir Patrick Spens and Auld Lang Syne. Don's performance was greatly appreciated by a large audience, and, in best folk club tradition, he was persuaded to do an encore, for which he performed one of his own compositions, Twaker Song. A great start to the year. Milngavie Music Club. An outstanding Scottish cellist, Hugh Mackay, partnered by Chinese pianist Yung Yang Chen, makes his debut at Milngavie Music Club on February the 23rd at Cairns Church. Tickets from www.milngaviemusic.org. That's www.milngaviemusic.org, and the Honeybee Bakery, 48 Station Road, Milngavie.
Meet sweet and loving Moose. Moose is an affectionate lad who loves a cuddle. Although he can be shy initially, he warms up quickly, especially if there's a treat to be had. He's suited to a home with children aged 14 plus and prefers to be the only pet in the home. Moose thrives on outdoor walks and exploration, preferring peaceful areas to noisy environments. He enjoys car rides and craves exciting adventures, i.e. house-trained and a quick learner. Moose can sit and offer a perfect paw. He's content being alone for a couple of hours but cherishes the company of his family. Moose is set to be an amazing companion, bringing joy and liveliness to your home. If you could provide a home for Moose, contact us on 01506 873 459. Moose is a spirited young 1-year-old French bulldog and is always the life of the party.
Christmas at the Repair Shop. BBC One's The Repair Shop team is asking viewers to be on the lookout for any cherished Christmas items that may have been hidden away or forgotten. Presenter Jay Blade said, "We are always performing magic at the Repair Shop barn, but there is something that is always a bit more special at Christmas, and we would love to hear from people with objects of historical or social interest in need of repair, with a festive feel to them." The Repair Shop team is reaching out to a wide range of communities for the Christmas episode. Please email applications at ricochet.co.uk or log on to www.bbc.co.uk/take part for more information. Filming for the new series starts early this year.
Public notices. Traffic notices. Town and Country Planning, Development Management Procedure (Scotland), Regulations 2013, Regulation 20 (2), North Lanarkshire Council. This application with the associated plans and documents can be inspected online using simple search at eplanning.northlanarkshire.gov.uk/online-applications, or at the local office below. Anyone wishing to make a comment can do so online or in writing within 14 days of this notice. Application number 23/01357/FUL. Site location: Land at Woodnock Road, Gartcosh, North Lanarkshire, G69 8AG. Proposed development: a new campus for the relocation of Gartcosh Primary School, a new language communication support centre, nursery class, and community facilities with associated car parking, sports facilities, community garden, and landscaping. Planning and Place Manager, Civic Centre, Windmill Hill Street, Motherwell, ML1 1AB, northlanarkshire.gov.uk. Public notices. General notices. Public Notice Portal, brought to you by Britain's local news media. Want to know what's happening in your local area? You can keep up to date with all the latest information on planning proposals, traffic notices, goods vehicle operator licences, premises licensing, licences to sell alcohol, and probate notices in your local area. Go to www.publicnoticeportal.uk. Planning notices. East Dunbartonshire Council public notices. Members' surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South, Councillor Gordon Lowe. 20th of January 2024, Bishopbriggs Academy, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. 20th of January 2024, Bishopbriggs Library and Community Hub, Room 1, 11:15 a.m. to 12 noon. 20th of January 2024, Auchnairn CE Centre, 12:30 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. Room 1. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twigger, Pamela Marshall. 20th of January 2024, Kirkintilloch Hub, Room 1, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. 20th of January 2024, Hillhead Community Centre, Room 2, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. 20th of January 2024, Twecker Healthy Living Centre, 12:15 p.m. until 1 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald. 17th of January 2024, Twecker Healthy Living Centre, 5:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. 17th of January 2024, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. Between surgeries, counsellors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 1234 That phone number again for the Members Support Unit is 0300 1234 Planning applications. Format: application number followed by address/location, followed by proposal, followed by type of advert, followed by period of reps. TP/ED/23/0657 32 Moncrieff Avenue, Lenzie, East Dunbartonshire, G66 4NJ. Erection of 2-storey side extension following demolition of existing. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. TP/ED/23/0699. 22 Garn-Gaber Avenue, Lenzie, East Dunbartonshire, G66 4LJ. Erection of side extensions. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. If you are unable to view the plans on the Council's website, then please contact the Planning Duty Officer to arrange a suitable time to view the plans in our offices. Written comments may be made within the above period to the Council through the Council's website, or to the above address. Any representations will be treated as public documents and made available for inspection by interested parties, and may also be published on the Council's website. Big win for City in the capital. An article written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Glasgow City were in SWPL1 action for the first time in 2024 with a 5-1 win away to Spartans. Lauren Davidson gave the visitors the lead from the penalty spot after 9 minutes following a foul on Kinga Kozak. Emily Whelan then doubled their advantage after 20 minutes as she headed in a cross from Lisa Forrest. Spartans pulled one back on 38 minutes as Hannah Jordan's cross was met by the head of Rebecca Galbraith. However, on 59 minutes, Davidson restored the 2-goal cushion as she rounded home keeper Alicia Yates and tapped the ball home into an empty net. 5 minutes later, Ailey Gambone fired the 4th into the net, with her first touch having just came on as a substitute. Kozak rounded off the scoring 7 minutes from the end as she headed in a cross from the returning Fiona Brown. It is a blank weekend for City as they prepare to host Celtic on January 28th. Petershill remain just 1 point ahead at the top of the WOS Premier Division following a 2-1 defeat at home to Rutherglen Cairn. It was the home side who took the lead on 50 minutes as Ryan Thompson headed in a corner. It looked as if they were on for the 3 points, but a late double from Rowan Fitzpatrick sent the 3 points to South Lanarkshire. Kilwinning Rangers won 2-1 away to Shotts Bon Accord to narrow the gap, and there is now only 4 points separating Petershill in first with Rutherglen in 6th. Sitting just a further 2 points back in 7th are Ashfield, who won 3-0 away to Maybole Juniors. Ashfield put on an excellent performance in South Ayrshire as Sean Slavin grabbed a double and Greg Burns was on target with a bullet header. It is first against second on Saturday as Petershill travel to Kilwinning while Ashfield host Renfrew. Caledonian Locomotives missed the chance to go second in the second division as they lost 3-2 away to Cumbernauld United. The home side went in 2-0 up at the break, only for Cali to pull themselves level through Fraser Malcolm and Tyler Wright. But United claimed a last-minute winner. Glasgow Perthshire lost 5-2 away to Craigmark Burtonians, having led 2-1 at one stage through Darren Maguire and David Kirkwood. Cali host Vale of Clyde on Saturday, while Shire welcome Wishaw. West Park United made it back-to-back league wins in the third division, albeit the matches took place almost a month apart. A second-half Connor McCambridge double was enough to secure a 2-0 win at home to Girvan, and next up is a trip to Vale of Leven. In the fourth division, there was a shock 4-0 defeat for Rossville away to Easterhouse, and will need to bounce back at home to BSC Glasgow. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy returned to action in the Premier Division at home to Irvine Meadow. That article was written by Brian Jewell and read by me, Corey. WRCED is stepping positively into 2024. An article written by Lorna Thompson and read by me, Corey. Whatever your health and fitness goals or positive intentions for 2024, our Walk, Run, Cycle East Dunbartonshire WRCED could help. This could be by using our amazing online community to search for local walking, running or cycling routes, or even get inspired by a more further afield adventure, or join one of our many meetup events or volunteering opportunities. Did you know that just 30 minutes of walking every day can increase your cardiovascular fitness, strengthen bones, reduce excess body fat, and boost muscle power and endurance? It can also reduce your risk of developing conditions such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, and some cancers. It improves mood and social isolation, tackles depression and anxiety. You don't need any special equipment and is free. WRCED offers a Paths for All Health walk every Friday. These are low-level, short, accessible group walks. They are free to attend and led by trained walking leaders along a risk-assessed route. They support the most inactive to take part, as well as those recovering from illness or injury. Strength and Balance sessions on a Tuesday afternoon is a program that combines simple exercises with advice on walking to help adults stay active and independent and reduces the risk of falls. We have roughly 6 events each week, ranging in all levels of ability. Details can be found on our Facebook page, Walk, Run, Cycle East Dunbartonshire, or by emailing wrced2020@gmail.com. Cycling and running are popular but less frequent events on the page. We are always looking for event hosts to help deliver these and all our events. Nordic walking has been a huge success, with participants seeing both physical and mental benefits due to its whole body movement and the fact it is outdoors and in nature. Works the upper body, encases the core, reduces the pressure on joints and makes you feel lighter on your feet. Training is available for those wishing to volunteer. Spending time outside in nature is linked to both cognitive benefits and improvements in mood, mental health and emotional well-being. Vitamin D levels go up and feelings of relaxation and joy by being in nature is palatable. Other ways to volunteer is with our Keep Scotland Beautiful collaboration through litter picking, and we have a whole array of pickers and other equipment available to borrow. This can be individuals or groups of people, including community groups, while we also have loaned pickers to schools and nurseries. Again, simply email us for more information. We recently became affiliated with Eden Community Project and look forward to some exciting opportunities with them in 2024. Whether you like to walk by yourself or in a group to feel safe and part of a community, just getting your walking shoes on and stepping outside for a short 30-minute stroll, you will not regret it. That article was written by Lorna Thompson and read by me, Corey. Worrell is to be the spearhead for Tigers. An article written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey. Steve Worrell is delighted to sign for a powerhouse club after joining Glasgow Tigers for the 2024 season. Worrell, 32, spent the last 3 years with former league champions Pole, before arriving at Ashfield. He said, "There's no doubt that Glasgow was my first choice after leaving the Pirates. The Tigers have been a standout powerhouse club in the league along with Pole over the last few years. Ironically, it will be the second season in a row that I am in a title-defending team. But I have always been impressed with Glasgow and the hunger to succeed. I've been in some great winning teams down the years, and I'm convinced that will continue now. I'm excited to join up with such great riders like Chris Harris, Leon Flint, and Paul Starkey. There's a really good mix of youth and experience that is usually the mark of a successful team. The fans and track are second to none at Ashfield Stadium. Roll on march for what should be a great year." Team boss Cammy Brown admits that Worrell was the main choice to form a strong spearhead with captain Chris Harris. He said, "Steve is the ultimate professional and has been a top-class winner for many years now. You don't finish runner-up in the British Championship and race in the British Grand Prix without being a brilliant rider. He's also a proper team man. In my opinion, we've got the best top two in the championship. It's the strong spearhead we wanted." That article was written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.